mortgage rates coming down and with so many people asking me about how much does a house actually cost to afford, especially with interest rates dropping, I created this mortgage calculator to basically be the calculator that I have always wanted when I'm talking with clients to give you the full picture of your loan. And the really cool thing about this, it's going to calculate all the costs involved in your loan, your principal and interest, your property tax, your insurance, and if you're putting less than 20% down, it's going to add in mortgage insurance, which is a cost you need to know about. It's also going to add in things for certain loan types like FHA and VA loans, where there's funding fees that are required as part of those loans. It's going to add those in and calculate that for you. Now, the really cool thing about this is that we get a lot of incentives from builders to use towards your closing costs, towards your mortgage, or towards taking off your purchase price. And sometimes when we're negotiating on a resale home with a seller, we can get things that are called seller credits to also help cover your closing costs, which are things like escrow and title fees or loan origination fees. Those are extra money that's coming out of your pocket on top of your down payment. So we can oftentimes get those covered either by the seller or by a builder. Now, your biggest wins usually come with the builders because they usually are offering bigger incentives beyond what you can get with a resale home. So what I did is I actually added in an option here where you can calculate the most optimal way to use those seller credits or those builder incentives. So I'm just going to walk you through this calculator really fast. You can see how it works. You can select your loan type up here, conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, which is more common up here in Idaho for more rural properties. I also have a very advanced loan type called a first lien HELOC. I'm not going to cover that in this video, but you can play around with that if you like. Reach out to me and I can explain how that particular loan product works. But you can change your home price here. Let's just say 600,000. You can select your down payment by dollar amount or by percentage. Now it pulls in the interest rate automatically every day. So this is the average interest rate as of today. This is across all different conventional loan types across the country. That's on average with different credit ratings, etc. But you can change that to whatever you want if you like. You can select your loan term. It's going to add mortgage insurance if your loan amount is less than 20%. It'll add that in automatically so you can see it show up, so you can see what it's really going to cost you if you're not able to put 20% down. And then your annual insurance, this homeowner's insurance, your annual property tax. Now, keep in mind in Idaho, we have a tax exemption here. So this gets calculated automatically. This is if you own the home that you live in, not an investment property. That's going to take it off the price as well. And you're going to see the savings right over here, how much you're saving thanks to that homeowner's exemption each year. Now, this is where it starts to get really powerful, is if you add in your potential closing date. Let's just say you're planning to close on a home in the spring, say April 15th, tax day. And then, and if let's say there's an HOA, you can put that in there. So what's going to do, it's going to put over here your estimated closing costs based on that close date. There's going to be some escrow fees, some title insurance fees, there's an appraisal fee. Sometimes there's a loan origination fee, HOA setup fee. There's also prepaid items like property tax and insurance. It's based on the date that you close. It's going to put all that in here. So you can see to buy this house at $600,000, $3,156 a month payment. It's also going to have almost $9,000 in closing costs. It's going to show your total cash to close to buy this house. Again, you can change this if you want, say an FHA loan. It's going to show you're going to have less money down. Your payment's going to be higher, but your out of pocket is going to be far less, $30,000. Now, this is where it gets super powerful, is with the seller concessions and builder incentives. Builders often say, hey, I'll give you $25,000 if you purchase with us and maybe another $10,000 if you use their lender. Well, what does that all mean? Let's go in here. So now you can click this little button here. Let's go to new construction and let's just find out. Like right now on certain Toll Brothers homes, there's $20,000 incentive and there's also a $10,000 lender credit if you use Toll Brothers Mortgage. This is going to automatically calculate for you what the best option is for. You can click in here and see the breakdown. So what this is saying is, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to cover the closing costs with that incentive, and then we're going to buy down the rate. And in this scenario, they're buying down the rate all the way down to 4.835. Now, this is just an estimate. You need to reach out and talk to me and talk to a lender, but this is going to show you that your monthly savings using this money is going to cover your closing costs. So now in this scenario, instead of $30,000 out of pocket, you only have $21,000 out of pocket, and your monthly savings is going to be $373. Here's the original, $39.46, and here's the new payment, $35.73. And you can play around with this and go through, well, what if I only want to cover closing costs, or what if I only want to buy down the rate, or maybe I just want to reduce the purchase price. And you can see the different scenarios and what that's going to look like for you. It's like buy down rate, you might save a little bit more in monthly payment, but you can have more closing costs. You have to cover that $9,000. So it's a powerful tool to figure out the best strategy. I'm using this whenever we make offers on homes. We can go into resell and say, hey, what happens if we negotiate for a $10,000 credit? What can we do with that? And now we have a great offer recommendation strategy as well when we're trying to purchase a resale home. So play around with this. Reach out to me if you got any questions. And I hope you find this useful in buying your new home. I'd love to help you with buying your new home and putting together the right strategy and finding the exact perfect place for you to purchase that home.